Hey, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for the newest collection by Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is their What We Do in the Shadows collection. This is available right now on the Bee's Knees Lacquer website. I will have that link below as well as more sale details. And let's just get into the video. This first polish is called All Jesk No Gregor, and it's described as a lapis blue with a soft blue shimmer. This will be $11. This polish had a fantastic formula. It applied so nicely and so easily. It's a medium blue with like a hint of duskiness. I don't know if that's a word or not, but that's what my brain is telling me. The shimmer is really strong in this one. It's not a color shifty shimmer, but it's still a very strong shimmer. It's really beautiful. I really love this one, but I tend to love blues. There are some brush strokes in the shimmer when it's wet, but I'd say like 99.9% all disappear as the polish dries down. Nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove. This was mostly opaque in 2 coats, but I did have some transparency on the tips of my nails, which you can kind of see here in the video. So I'm doing 3 coats with a slightly thicker coat just to cover up that transparency at the tips, but I think shorter nails would be good in 2 coats. And here you can just see how that shimmer looks when it's moving. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. This was one of my favorites from this collection. And here are my swatch photos, including glossy top coat and matte top coat. Next up is Bat. This is described as a raisin polish with a glowing green shimmer. This will be $11. Am I the only one that when they hear the color raisin, they're thinking of a reddish purple? I don't know why that is, but when I hear the color raisin, I think of more of a reddish purple. This is like, I'd call this like a medium toned, slightly grayed out purple with a very strong green shimmer. In the bottle, this one wasn't really doing it for me, but once I got it on my nail, I was very impressed. It's really beautiful. The formula is really perfect. It applies really evenly and easily. On the nail, I was seeing just a hint of like a green to blue color shift. I'm not sure if that's just how the shimmer is playing with the base color, but my eye was picking up like a greenish bluish color shift. I think shorter nails will be good in 2 coats. Long nails will probably want to go in for that 3rd coat, but this is just such a beautiful polish. Like, it's totally worth the 3 coats in my opinion. And here you can see it moving, and just so beautiful. I love this one. And here are my swatch photos for Bat. And these include both glossy and matte top coat. This next polish is called Bloody Mary. It's described as a blood red ultra hollow. It's priced at $13. Bloody Mary has a great formula. It's not too thick or too thin. It is very opaque here on this first coat, but not quite a 1-coater. You might be able to make it a 1-coater if you go in for a thicker coat. I plan on using 2 normal thickness coats. This is very holographic in person. For some reason, I kept wanting to describe this as a Halloween red, which I didn't know was a thing when I was swatching it, but like I just kept saying, oh, it's like a Halloween red. But it is a blood red in person. I did notice while I was wearing this that depending on your lighting, it can look a little cool. I think my lighting tends to run on the cool side, so it looks very cool here. But in person, it is definitely a blood red linear holographic polish. Hollow friendly lighting for the still photos tends to run pretty warm, so this has just a hint of oranginess to it, but in person it is definitely a blood red polish. Next up is Dark Greetings. This is described as a lightly tinted black polish with a green to blue magnetic pigment and red to green ghost flakies. This is priced at $14. Dark Greetings is the sheerest out of all of the polishes in this collection. I think most people will want to use 3 coats for this one. My thing with magnetics, I usually, if I'm going to magnetize, that is, I usually will do 3 coats to get it fully opaque, and then do a 4th coat to magnetize it. So that's what I am doing with this one. If you don't want to magnetize it, it will look like a duochrome polish. Another thing that I sometimes will do with magnetics for my personal wearing, I will put them over black to get it fully opaque, and then I will go in and do the extra coats. But for swatching, I tend to prefer to do 3 coats for full opacity and then a 4th coat to do the magnetized layer. That's just how it works for me, because I find that magnetics in general tend to be more on the sheer side. So I like to get it fully opaque first and then go in with the magnet. So I am going to try to show how I do the magnetizing. The magnet that I'm using I got from Polish Pickup, which I think I got it from a Heather's Hughes polish. Anyway, so while swatching this just now, I learned that it's kind of hard to hold the magnet over your nail and also record it at the same time. So my middle nail got it's not a straight line like on my other fingers. So I have the other fingers magnetized here, and I'm kind of showing in real time how long I hold the magnet over. I usually will do between 20 seconds to maybe a minute, kind of depending on how patient I'm feeling that day. And then I go in again with the magnet after top coating. This is 3 coats plus 1 extra coat to do the magnetized layer, and that's just how I personally do magnetic polishes, because I just find that they're a bit more sheer than regular polishes. But Dark Greetings is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't want to take this one off. It's really beautiful. And you could just see that nice magnetic line, and it's just so color shifty. Without the magnet, this will look like a blue to green duochrome polish. Forgive me if I pronounce this one wrong. This is called Guillermo Buillermo, and it's described as a dove gray polish with a glowy purple shimmer, and it's priced at $11. This is another one of my top picks from this collection. I found that the shimmer in this one isn't as in your face as some of the other shimmers in this collection. However, calling it a glowy purple shimmer is not giving it enough justice. This is a very color shifty shimmer. It's absolutely gorgeous. In person, I was seeing like a peachy pink and a purple color shift on this one. While I was swatching this, on the camera, it was looking like it was going to be good in 2 coats, but when I went to do my swatch photos, I decided to add a 3rd coat. So my video shows it in 2 coats, and my swatch photos show it in 3 coats. This is really, really beautiful. I loved this one. And here you can kind of see the color shift. It's like a pinky, peachy, it's like a peachy pink to a purple, and it's just so beautiful. I love gray polishes, and this is no exception. So my swatch photos include glossy top coat. Oh, and matte top coat. Next up is I don't live to drain, I drain to live. It's described as a silver to green to blue multichrome and is priced at $13. I believe the multichrome pigment for this one is one of the newer multichrome pigments that have recently hit the market. The colors that I was seeing in person with this polish were the silver to green to blue, as well as purple at extreme angles. This has a great formula. It's not too thick or too thin. Ignore what my hand is about to do right here. I was trying to decide if I was going in for another coat or not. So I ended up doing 3 coats for this one. I felt like I had just a hint of transparency that I was seeing in person, but you're not really seeing here in the video. But you can definitely see the silver the most from this angle. From what I remember when I was filming this, what I was seeing sitting down was more of the blue-purple, and what my camera was picking up was the tealy silver. And here in the movement, you can see there's the purple and the blue and the teal and the green. You see all of the colors, and it's so beautiful. I had a hard time getting photos of this because I try to limit how many photos I take per polish, but this one was just showing so many colors. I took a lot of photos. So my swatch photos include glossy and matte top coat. Next up is One Human Alcohol Beer Please. It's described as a black polish with rich sapphire shimmer. It's priced at $11. On the nail, I would have called this a blue polish. You can see the black base while you're applying it, but in the bottle, I would have just thought this was like a dark navy polish with like a brighter blue shimmer. It applies very nicely, perfect formula. The shimmer is very strong, so strong that once you start adding your coats, you really don't see the black too much. It looks like a very vibrant blue polish. This was opaque for me in 2 coats. I used 2 coats here for my video and 2 coats for my swatch photos. And just look at that shimmer. It is so beautiful. Oh gosh, this is just, I'm sorry, I'm just loving looking at the footage. It's just so beautiful. So the video shows this in direct lighting, and my swatch photos were taken in my light box. So the light box kind of diffused the light a little bit, but you can still see how gorgeous this is, and it looks absolutely amazing matte. This next polish is Operation Accidentally Kill the Baron, and it's described as a soft, pure silver holographic. It's priced at $13. This is a pure silver linear holographic. It is very opaque here on this first coat. I actually want to test this to see if it can be used as a stamping polish because it is so opaque, because it's just really, really beautiful. Silver linear holographics are one of those polishes that I feel like I just can't own enough of. I think I have at least 8 or 9 of them at this point now, and I just love them. It's just so beautiful. This was opaque for me in 2 coats, so my video as well as my swatch photos are in 2 coats. The sun actually came out the day I was swatching this one, so I brought this one outside to show how it is in the sun. It is so holographic. And here are my swatch photos that include glossy top coat and matte top coat. Next up is Superb Owl. This is described as a blackened indigo ultra holographic, and it's priced at $13. This applied really nicely, super evenly. Formula-wise, it's pretty much identical to Bloody Mary, the red linear holographic from this polish. This is extremely holographic, even in just normal lighting around the house. It was like 95% opaque in 2 coats for me. I ended up going in for a 3rd coat just because I just felt it was just a little too light. I think shorter nails would be able to get away with 2 coats, especially if you go in for a thicker 2nd coat, but longer nails will most definitely want 3 coats. I did notice though that 3 coats does deepen the color quite a bit, so I personally like the color in 3 coats. I think it's more of the color that you see in the bottle in 3 coats, but I don't know, depending on personal preference, you might only want to do 2. I actually own quite a few linear holographic polishes, and this is actually the only one that I have that is like this dark indigo. It's like a little purple, a little blue, a little gray. It's really, really interesting. I really like this color quite a bit. And here you can see just how holographic it is. My swatch lighting isn't the best for holographic, and so you switch the lighting for this movement shot, and just wow. And here are my swatch photos that include both glossy and matte top coat. And the final polish from this collection is called Vampires Only. It is described as a black to red multi-chrome with a silver magnetic shimmer. It's priced at $13. Okay, I seriously love the black to red multi-chrome pigment. Like, it's my favorite pigment that's come out recently. So this polish has a fantastic formula. It's extremely opaque, especially for a multi-chrome polish. I ended up only needing 2 coats for full opacity, and that includes with the magnetic. I usually will do an extra coat, but this was so opaque I didn't think there'd be any nail line, and I was right. I did go in for a thicker second coat once I realized that this was going to cover completely in 2 coats. So I did a thicker second coat and I magnetized the second coat. And I'm not speeding this up. This is real time on how long I held the magnet for. In case it wasn't completely obvious, this had a fantastic formula. No issues whatsoever. So from this angle, the polish is mostly looking black. From what I remember when I was recording it, the angle I was seeing in person, I was seeing a red, but the camera was picking up the black. And here it is just moving. Yes, my desk is a huge mess, but oh my gosh, this polish is just so beautiful. I did notice that when I put the matte top coat on, it was definitely looking a lot more black than it was in person. Like, it seemed like you couldn't really tell it was a black to red. But, oh my gosh, this one is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. But I just love this pigment so much. And that is it for the Bee's Knees Lacquer What We Do in the Shadows collection. I love this collection. This was my very first time trying the Bee's Knees Lacquer formula. It's a brand that I'd been wanting to try for like ever. So I was super, super excited to get onto their PR list for this one. My personal favorites from this release would be Guillermo Buillermo, Dark Greetings, All Just Know, Gregor, and Vampires Only. But these were all just fantastic. Again, these are available now on the Bee's Knees Lacquer website. I will link that below. I would love to hear from you all on what polishes that you like from this one and if you've picked anything up from this release. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!